We're at the 2025 Palm Beach Boat Show aboard another world premiere, the Grand Banks 62. It replaces the 60, but it is a totally new boat, new tooling and all, and there are incremental improvements all over this thing, but they have not changed what works so well with the 60. Its performance. The way this thing cruises and its range and its capability is seriously impressive. I'm going to go into all of that later on and give you a full tour and a good look around. So let's get going. I'm Jack Haines. Welcome to YachtBuyer. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to the YachtBuyer YouTube channel, hit subscribe, hit the bell icon, you'll never miss another one of our tours. But here on the GB62, we're going to start here at the bathing platform. It's a fixed bathing platform on this boat. The tender lives up on the Flybridge, but it's a nice deep platform, so there's plenty of space to move around here. You've got this railing as well, bit of extra security, also a very convenient place to tie your fenders off. You've got cleats as well on the ends. Very convenient for tying the tender off as well, so that's very handy. And some nice features in the transom. You've got shore power ports on both sides, so no matter what side you're moored, you've always got a connection for the cable, easily to hand. Underneath here, there's a grill, hot plate and a grill in fact. The downside to this is that it is behind the only seating in the cockpit, so when you're cooking, people have got their back to you, but it is quite nice to have it here on the transom, out of the way of the cockpit, I suppose. And then here, we've got just a really useful storage locker. Deep, drained, nicely lined, good for putting kit in. Wet stuff can just go in there right here at the back of the boat, very handy. And I often complain about the lack of having gas rams. Bit boring, I know, but it's important, and this boat is certainly not lacking them. Everything pops up on nice gas rams, so it's all really easy. And then they close really nicely as well. The feeling of quality is immediate from the off, including things like this massive flag, but most importantly, the flagpole that's attached to. That is just absolutely gorgeous. Let's head to the cockpit. In replacing the 60 with the 62, it may come as no surprise that they've lengthened the boat. So it's 2 foot longer on the main deck and it's 2 feet longer on the Flybridge as well. And you really feel that in this cockpit. I mean, the 60's cockpit was already pretty big, but this is just a huge, huge space. And you've got a nice big table as well, which folds away when you're traveling along, so you've got a nice handrail, but there is plenty of space opposite and at either end. You've got director's chairs and go all the way around, so if you want to dine down here, you can. Now this sort of stuff is all beautiful high gloss real timber. However, quite a while ago they moved to composite on these cappings. These used to be real wood, but from a maintenance point of view, bearing in mind these are often owner run, they are mostly owner run, it just means there's less maintenance than to worry about, but they get all the nice stuff with the things they're going to interact with day to day. The bar is over here. It's got a fridge, decent sized isotherm fridge, bit of countertop up here, and you've also got your docking station here as well. The twin disc system is an upgrade, otherwise you just get the Volvo kit. It's Volvo engine options throughout, either IPS or shaft, but twin disc stuff is lovely, and that incorporates this joystick. And this is really well positioned because if you're mooring stern to, obviously you can see the transom really easily, but I can also look forward and check where I am, where the front of the boat's pointing as well. So that's really conveniently located, and I like how it's integrated into this bar here. Very nicely done. Right, talking of being forward, let's go to the foredeck. And the thing about being an owner-run boat is it has to be easy to crew and move around as well, and this boat really is. It has boarding gates on both sides, making getting off the side, not just the stern, very comfortable. These decks are wide, easy to walk along. You've got guardrails all the way along, so you've always got something to grab onto. There are a few steps up as you get up to the foredeck, but generally it feels very safe and easy to move around. There are options in terms of the deck. You could have real teak, you could have synthetic teak. This has got this, it doesn't look great, but it feels really good under your feet, and it's very, very safe and very grippy. And this is one of the compromises over maybe a more modern Flybridge of this size, where they've got tables and sun pads and backrests and fridges. This is very plain and very simple. It is just part of the design. That's the way it is. You can add cushions if you want some sunbathing space up here, but obviously it's populated with all the hatches for down below as well. So it's not the best living space in the sector, but it does lend itself to this real classic Grand Banks design. Right forward, of course, we have an ultramarine anchor, and I really like the way you've got these sort of low profile cleats that link to those really beautiful fairleads. Anchor locker, of course. That again, you won't be surprised, pops open on a nice gas ram, and this is segregated, so you've got actually a teak-lined locker for fenders and ropes, and then right forward a totally separate locker for your chain, which just means you're not going to bring up lines into the windlass when the anchor's going in and out. All very nicely done practical stuff. Right, let's check out the Flybridge. Beautiful deep teak treads help you up to the Flybridge, where as soon as you're up here there's a nice railing to grab onto as well. Now back here we've got similar sort of decking to what we have on the main deck, because this is a working area really. Obviously this is where the tender lives. You've got the crane here to launch it on and off, and as you can see you can get a reasonable sized tender up here at the back of the Flybridge, but there is still space for a nice slab of sunbathing room. Obviously, as I said, not much up on the foredeck, so this becomes really quite an important place for the sun worshippers, and it's just about clear of this hardtop. There is the option to have a sky lounge version of this boat where you have a fully enclosed living area up here, essentially another saloon with an internal staircase down inside, but this is your traditional Flybridge arrangement, and I think it works really well. Arguably, this is a more comfortable place to eat than downstairs. You've got more thick seating, so it's just a little bit easier. Another beautiful high gloss table with the GB letters right in the middle there. That looks absolutely gorgeous, and it's opposite your wet bar. No grill up here. I've no doubt that is an option if you want it, but you have got another fridge. So you've got cold drinks here, and this is all just storage, bin, that sort of thing, but it's really nicely finished. And again, even these things just feel solid and substantial, as does the hardtop. And then moving forward, we come to the upper helm station. This is a really nice feature. You've got a pair of fully adjustable, very comfortable STID helm seats. It's quite a pared back helm you'll see downstairs. There's a lot more going on down there, but you know, this is a more of an occasional helm. When you're doing the really hard yards, you're probably going to be downstairs, but it's just lovely to be up here, quite a long way forward on the centre line. You've got your Garmin MFDs, you've got a lovely view forward, and of course this is a boat designed to travel along at 20 knots, so you're covering ground nicely, wind in your hair. You can just picture it, can't you? Now I mentioned the upgrade to the twin disc system, and that's really nice because of course it gives you the gearboxes, but it also gives you all of their lovely components. They're all made of metal, no plastic tops here. Looks and feels really good. And then you've got the split between the bow and stern thruster, which you can use individually, and also the joystick, which has a hold function that I'm not sure this particular boat has got it. So this is really just for slow speed maneuvering. It's a really nice setup, but not quite as nice as downstairs. So let's head down there. You pick up subtle, really lovely details all over this boat. This door's a great example. On the outside here and the front, it's gloss woodwork to match all the exterior wood in this cockpit. But then when I step inside, it turns to matte to match the woodwork inside here, and it's a really warm, cozy, inviting interior. There are a few different options when it comes to the layout. So this is the most popular, having the galley aft, but you can have the galley forward. You can even have it downstairs. But I can see why this is popular. This window drops down. It's down at the moment, but there's a switch here and at the helm. And really quite quickly you can then section this off for privacy, a bit of quiet as well. But when it's down, it means if you're cooking, you're really well connected to people who are sitting out in the cockpit. And here's another really clever touch. This storage is really quite high, over my head at 6 foot tall. You can get into it by popping these and reaching in, but if you're a little bit shorter, that's going to be tricky. So they've put in these mechanisms where this drops down to come and meet you. They've even put separate lights. There's lights under here, there's lights inside as well. So it lights up those shelves. You can stack them with your goods, push the button, and it disappears back up into the unit. And you've got it on this side as well. It's a really smart bit of engineering. I imagine it cost quite a lot to develop as well. But again, it just shows the lengths the Grand Banks goes to, you know, make life on board easy. In terms of the equipment here, it's not got domestic size sort of upright fridge freezer, but you have got two big fridge freezer drawers here. There's two more over on that side, and there's a dishwasher here as well. So you're pretty well set. And with this aft galley arrangement, because it splits across both sides, it's big. It's a really good size. And then amidships, that leaves you your internal seating space. This is lovely, really pushes out to the beam. We've got big side decks, as we've seen, but there's still plenty of space to move around in here. And you know, you can wallow around in the space here, but when you're going along, this falls to hand really easily, which I always like to see. And of course, it's just beautifully made. The metal, the wood is really top quality. Big table here as well if you want to dine internally. This opens up too, and you pull these seats up or put director's chairs the other side if you're having a big party, dine inside. And nice that you've just got another sofa. It's these sort of armchairs, the table, that make it feel a little bit more homely, and behind these is where you find the television. And then right forward, of course, we have the lower helm. It's a beautifully designed lower helm station. It's all teak, there's no plastic on show here. There's a little bit of leather up top, but it does look really nice. Gorgeous high gloss steering wheel as well. And though this is a bench, it's a very adjustable bench. I can lean, as you can see, you've got this wooden panel, so you create a leaning post, but they have split bolsters, so the navigator can sit while the skipper leans and vice versa, and you've got footrest for when you're sitting down. And this is such lovely squishy material as well, very, very comfortable, and repeated on the other side. Nice that 4 people can sit and enjoy the ride facing forward when the boat's on the move. And one of the things that is so impressive about this and the 60 it replaces is its efficiency. It's got this V-warp hull designed to be efficient at higher speeds. Whatever engine option you go for, there are 3, 2 shaft and 1 IPS. It tops out at 30 knots, but it's the cruising range at speed that's most impressive. With the smaller Volvos, the 900 horsepowers, it's going to do over 800 nautical miles at 20 knots. This one with the bigger Volvos is doing about 680 nautical miles at 20 knots. That is remarkable. For the speed you're going to get that amount of range is incredible. Outstanding in this sector, I would say. Now, in terms of the arrangement down here, it's really nice. You've got 2 big screens. Obviously they're Garmin, so you can have displayed whatever you want on here. I quite like this arrangement because I've got the chart up here. You can keep your eye up top as well, make sure the tender hasn't flown off while you're moving along. And of course, if you wanted the radar up there, you could do that. And you've always got the smaller Volvo screen as well, so you can always have your engine dials on show, which I always like. There's a side door as well. This builds back into that ease of use as an owner operator. If you're maneuvering from down here, which you quite costly good because you've got a camera in the cockpit, you've got a joystick, but you can stick your head out there, look forward, look aft, and then you can step off the boarding gate and help out with the lines. It just all comes together really well to make this boat an easy one to live with. Right, let's check out the accommodation. What we have on the lower deck is a 3.5 cabin layout, and what adding that extra 2 feet has done has allowed them to make some quite significant changes in this section. I'll show you what I mean. First of all, you arrive at this single bunk, not a crewed boat, as I've mentioned before. There is no dedicated crew cabin though, so if you're going to have crew, they're probably going to be in here. This is also where you find a stacked washer dryer. But the major change is that what used to be a single berth down here is now a double. So you have a nice sized double berth. It's tightly packaged in here though. There are headroom restraints, level changes. Obviously the bed is a reasonable width, but this person is going to have to clamber over this person to get in and out in the night. And as I said, it does drop down a fair bit. There are big steps, but right by your storage, which is pretty generous. Headroom isn't great here, but I can just about stand up in this section if I'm getting changed. And then it's another big step up with a sliding door here into the ensuite for this cabin, which, as you see, there's a little intrusion there, but in the shower in this section, headroom's okay. Nice that it has got a separate shower cubicle. It's all really nicely finished in teak as well. But one issue is there's very little ventilation. I can't see an extractor fan. There's no porthole in here. There's no skylight, and there's none in there. So you're going to be relying very heavily on the air conditioning to keep these areas cool. Right, let's head forward and have a look at the rest of the accommodation. Forward, there are 2 further cabins. We'll get to those in a second. First, I just want to show you some more practical stuff. Getting to the bilges is so easy. This is not a loose locker lid. One of my favourite things, a gas ram appears again, and look at the thickness of that deck as well. And this is a first for me. They've got teak style carpet down there, so when you lift these, you're not looking at the bilge, you're looking at what looks like teak. I mean, that is attention to detail, isn't it? All very easy to inspect and check very quickly. Right, let's carry on forward and have a look at these cabins. We're going to start here on the port side because this is where you find the owner's cabin. You haven't got a full beam owner's cabin on this boat, and you didn't on the 60. That is not the arrangement they wanted. They were concerned about the packaging of the engines for weight balance, so that is a priority. However, you still get a very nice bright cabin. You see this above me, that is actually opposite the navigator bench up at the lower helm there, and that's a really nice effect. It's all smoked so no one can see down, but the amount of natural light coming in here, considering the hull windows aren't huge, is really good. And though you haven't got ventilation here, they have got hatches in these cabins. We saw those out on deck. So natural ventilation, not an issue in these cabins, just the ones amidships. Nice big walk around bed. This is all storage over here, drawer, cupboard, wardrobe. And then the ensuite in this cabin, as I walk past what is a nice big TV, is totally private. Really big. I love the finish in here. The teak underfoot looks lovely. You've even got teak toilet tops. Storage is pretty good. And again, although this is quite small, I've got a skylight here for natural light and ventilation. Big separate shower as well. It's lovely. Let's check out the VIP. And that is located right forward. It's not en suite, so that uses the day head as its bathroom. And as the name suggests, that is the bathroom that guests will use during the day when they're inside. And then we arrive here at the VIP. It's quite simple arrangement, it's quite functional, it still feels beautifully put together. The bed is a good size, it's set low too, which makes it easy to climb in and out of course, but also leaves you clearance, because there is an intrusion here, but clearance to sit up in bed and read and watch the TV that's mounted up on that wall. Big skylight in this cabin, so there's no issues with natural light in here because those slim little portholes just don't bring in very much natural light. Storage is pretty good all around here at eye level. I like that you've got your bedside table is essentially raised, but it's got a socket in there, a reading light, and this fiddle so you can put your phone, bits and bobs in there, and they're not going to fall out during the night. Really nicely done, as is the engine room, which is where we're going now. Engine access really couldn't be simpler. There's a lovely big hatch in the middle of the cockpit. Up she comes, and then there's a nice shallow staircase and a handle down into the lazarette. Honestly, as an owner using their boat regularly, spaces like this are just heaven. So easy to get to, beautifully finished as well. There's teak down here even. You've got fender storage down here, racks for storing boxes. It goes a long way back as well. Really easy access to the auto reel cables you have on both sides, the shore power cables. I mentioned those earlier on. That's all down there. It's just clean as a whistle, really easy to store big items. For example, all the director's chairs fit down here. It's a really fantastic use of space. And through that door, we find the engine room itself. Well, as you can see, headroom isn't great, but that is one of the very few negative points inside this engine room. It is absolutely immaculate in here. The teak even extends into this area. Possibly not that practical where there could be spillages, but it certainly looks fantastic. And the engineering is just beautiful. Look at the quality of all of this around here. The insulation, the way you can see everything so easily. Yeah, it's absolutely fabulous. And something to remember is whether you go for shaft drives or IPS on this boat, the engines are mounted in exactly the same place. The weight balance is so important to the efficiency and the running attitude of this boat that whichever you go for, the engines sit right here, designed to be in a spot where they are going to create the best possible running attitude. Directly behind me, we've got two generators and the battery boxes. Again, all really easy to get to, beautifully installed. Right forward, fuel filters, two of them with clear bowls, two of them per tank I should say, with clear bowls, so you can check by eye and switch across if one gets blocked. I go back to this owner run theme. If you're running a boat like this, you're offshore, in the middle of nowhere, you want it to be easy to look after, and they have made that very easy indeed. The GB60 was such a refined product that they've not had to work too hard to improve that formula. What this boat does is combined classic charm with thoroughly modern performance. Yes, they've made those changes to the cabin down below. I still feel like this is a boat that's going to be run mainly by a couple, and they'll have a couple of guests now and then. If it's comfortable sleeping space you want, this isn't for you. If it's serious offshore performance and a boat that drips with class and charm, well, it's an absolute stunner. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Thank you for watching that tour of the Grand Banks 62. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give the video a like if you did. And if you'd like to watch more Grand Banks content, we've got a tour of its flagship, the 85. I'll put that for you up there. And if you'd like to subscribe, you can do that by clicking up there. Thanks again for watching. I'm Jack Haines. This is YachtBuyer.